Hey, and welcome to Relationship Wednesdays with Coach Ellis. Hey, we've been working through the rules. That's Relationships Universal Lessonz. And today I want to talk to you about one of the rules that we all become acquainted with at some juncture. That's about you must know how to bounce back. And what do you mean, Coach, by bouncing back? If you've been in more than one relationship, then what you know is that at some juncture, there is a breakup. And if you've been engaged in this relationship, you probably had your heart broken. So how do you bounce back? Coach, how do you get it back after your heart's been crushed, after your dreams have been dashed? How do you bounce back? Well, I believe that the first thing we have to do about bouncing back is understand that the death of a relationship is a death, just like the physical death of somebody you love. And that requires you going through the grieving process. Now, some of us think that we can just shrug it off, shrug our shoulders, and wipe our feet and move on. But most of us have made some emotional investments, and we have to recover from that piece of our heart that we left out there. Because if we don't bounce back well, we don't get this bounce back right, it turns into baggage that we take into our next relationship. And you certainly don't want your next to pay for the crimes of your ex. So let's talk about bouncing back. I believe there are 7 stages to grief. There's 7 stages to bouncing back. And it's the same stages that we go through to combat grief. The first thing is understand you will have some shock and denial. No, he didn't break up with me. No, I am the woman of his dreams. And you'll go through this period where you'll be in denial. But shortly after that, the pain will set in and guilt will set in. Did I do everything I was supposed to have done? Maybe if I was more affectionate, maybe if I supported more, you'll begin to minimize his responsibility and take more for yourself. That's guilt, that's pain. And I want to warn you, don't do that. If he wasn't smart enough to hang on to you, if he wasn't man enough to keep you, that's his problem, not yours. Don't fall into this place of pain and guilt. But after you do that, you'll just be mad. You'll be mad. You'll be angry. How dare he go and get her? She don't look as good as me. Whatever the case is, you'll be angry. And then you'll want to lash out. So I want to caution you at this stage, hold what you got, Airborne. Hold what you got. Because it's his issue, not yours. And don't get angry and do something that you'll regret. Do not make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. So after you get angry, you'll get a little depressed. You'll get a little lonely. You'll become very reflective. And here's the danger of your lonely place. Most men who have not been in a relationship with you can sense your loneliness. Because right around the corner from loneliness is depression. And the next door neighbor to depression is desperation. And guys, hunters, hunt for this weak place in your life. So you'll go through it. But be careful not to engage other relationships when you're in this lonely, depressed place, because it cannot end well. He may seem like the man of your dreams at the moment because he's there to rescue you. Guys will rescue you, but they'll rescue you for themselves, not for you. So in that place, please be careful. But after you get past the depression, after you get past the loneliness, as you are getting past, you'll take an upward turn. And then you'll see life a little different. You'll see life as possibilities and not just problems. And then you'll start developing a plan to work through. You'll start looking at how to reconstruct your life, how to reconstruct your relationships. You'll learn the lessons. You'll go back and you'll do an after relationship review. And you'll say, I really was all that in a bag of chips. It's his fault he couldn't hang on it. It's his issue that he wasn't man of. It's his issue he couldn't be a one-woman man. It's his issue. And then you'll start placing responsibility where it belongs to. But you got to get to that place. And once you do, you'll be at a place where you accept it. Yeah, God told me he wasn't the one anyway. Yeah, I thought he was, but when I looked back at it, I saw all the signs. Yeah, did he cheat on me? Yeah, initially I was angry and initially I was shocked and in denial, but I go back and I look at it and I connect the dots. The signs were there all the time. You begin to accept it. And then there's hope. Because that hope, what you're saying is, I am all that, and he couldn't, but some man out there is going to appreciate who I am. Ladies, bounce back, because your brokenness, and many of us like to be in that place of victimization. I have many clients, I met many women who, when they get to that place where they're lonely and depressed, they like this place of victimization because it draws attention to them. And when it draws attention to them, what happens is they think that they're winning because more men are paying attention, but more men are trying to use you at that place. At your place of vulnerability, men will strike. Now, I'm not saying all men are like this, but if they're not like this, they used to be like this. They didn't used to be like this, they're going to be like this. I believe men need to be better men, but understand, you might have that 1 in a million. You might have the 1 in a million, then you might not. I just want to encourage you, learn how to bounce back. Go through the steps of grief. And when you do that, then the next thing you'll do is you'll begin to really understand the value that you have. And when you start bouncing back, go through the grief process, then you start setting new goals, new relationship goals, because now you're more weary and you're more in tune with who you need and who that man is for you. So just remember, as you go through your breakups, as you go through your heartbreaks, as you review the choices, and don't let the choices of your past haunt your future, because ultimately, you get to decide what makes you happy. So when you bounce back, you go through the stages of grief and bounce back. And if you need more information about bouncing back, contact me at coach@therulz, that's TheRulz.com. Or you can catch me at Coach Ellis on Facebook. Hey, until next Relationship Wednesday, have a one-tabulous relationship. God bless you. We'll talk to you later.